We have all seen people who seem to view the world through darker lenses than everyone else, as if their brain is always ready for some disaster. But does that mean they have a defect, or is their brain just wired differently? Let us talk about neuroticism, one of the 5 major personality traits in the most scientifically respected model of personality in the world. To put it simply, neuroticism is the degree to which your brain tends to experience negative emotions. The higher this level, the more easily small daily triggers can stir up a wave of stress or worry inside your mind. This is not a disorder or an illness. It is a factory setting of the brain. It is like some cars have a more sensitive alert system that turns on its warning light at the smallest bit of dust. That car is not broken, it was built for risky roads. The trouble starts when you drive that car on quiet city streets. That is when the extra warnings start wearing down the driver's nerves. To understand what is going on, you only need to get familiar with 2 brain regions. First, the amygdala, the brain's alarm center. Its job is to constantly scan the environment for possible threats. In people with high neuroticism, this center works like an overly sensitive burglar alarm that goes off at the tiniest noise. Second, the prefrontal cortex, the executive manager. This area sits behind your forehead and handles logic, planning, and calming things down. In these individuals, the neural pathway between these 2 spots is stronger. That means the alarm center, the amygdala, sends a very fast and loud signal to the executive manager, the prefrontal cortex, saying danger. But since the executive manager cannot always override that alarm, the person stays in a constant state of high alert. Psychological research has identified 3 consistent patterns in these individuals. Attentional bias toward threat. If only one person in a crowded room is frowning, this person's eyes will go straight to that face and ignore all the smiles around them. Their brain is automatically drawn toward negative cues. Mental rumination or mental looping. After a simple conversation, their brain acts like a broken audio tape, replaying a controversial sentence for hours, constantly thinking I wish I had not said that or what did they really mean by that. Ineffective emotion regulation strategies. To control stress, they tend to use unhelpful methods like suppression, forcing themselves not to think about it, or avoidance, running away from new situations, rather than solving the problem or asking others for help. Let us go back to the cave-dwelling era. Your ancestor who lived in a tribe came in 2 types. One was optimistic and happily ate berries in the meadow. The other was pessimistic, high in neuroticism, and would jump up and run at the smallest rustle in the bushes. Which one was more likely to survive? Exactly, the sensitive pessimist. Because a mistake born of optimism could cost you your life, while a mistake born of pessimism only meant a pointless sprint. That is why this gene stayed in the population. So this trait was never meant for boardroom meetings or evening parties. It was built for survival in the wild. So if you feel like your brain gives you too much stress, know that this is not a sign of weakness. It is an intelligent ancient inheritance that no longer runs your life today. Through mindfulness practice, exercise and lifestyle changes, you can give your brain's executive manager, the prefrontal cortex, more power to adjust the alarm. The goal is not to turn off the alarm. The goal is to set its sensitivity to city mode rather than jungle mode. If you feel this stress is getting out of your control, please know that seeing a psychologist is like taking your car to a skilled mechanic, not a sign of weakness. Now it is your turn. At what time of day does this sensitive alarm bother you the most? Write it in the comments for me.